tujikaze, 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 jikaze. Africa, jikaze, tujikaze, America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javanokelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for an amazing session of the Daily African Proverbs. Today we are taking a virtual journey to Mali. Mali is a country that currently is going through a lot and they are setting the standard in so many ways. Mali is where, a lot of foreign troops are being kicked out and, Mali is trying to have their own currency. And they're just leading the continent in so many different ways. And to help me deepen this conversation, I have Chioma Sheri, who is an amazing friend that, joins me every Wednesday. And we are going to take this virtual journey to Mali through a proverb from there that is quite amazing. It says, when mosquitoes work, they bite and then they sing. When mosquitoes work, they bite and then they sing. There are 4 themes that I want us to consider for our conversation today. I'm going to share them in a moment. For now, I just want to, thank you all for being here with us on YouTube, and thank you for, for everyone who is going to join us on Clubhouse. I just want to take a moment to pass the mic to you, Chioma, just for a second. Say hi and share with us where you're joining us from before we begin our session.
All right. Hi, everyone. Just happy to be here as always. Thank you, Simon. I am joining in from Philly today.
Fantastic. Thank you again. So, when you look at this proverb from Mali, and I want to pin it to the Clubhouse room for the sake of those who are joining us there, so that they can, they can see it as they join us. This is an amazing proverb. For me, it's very special because I grew up with a lot of mosquitoes. Whenever you're going to bed, especially where I grew up in Kisumu, Kenya, you had to know, whether you had a mosquito net. If you didn't have a mosquito net, you had to have a mosquito coil. If you didn't have a mosquito coil, you had to spray the room before you get into bed so that you're not bitten by mosquitoes. But I just want you to consider these 4 themes before we start our conversation. For me, what stood out in regards to researching this proverb and and gathering some of the lessons we can take away from our conversation through this proverb. Number 1 is that this proverb brought up manipulation and the idea that many of us face hard situations where you might think that everything is okay, the work that you're doing is okay, or the relationships that you're in are okay, but you are being manipulated. So today we are going to use this proverb to understand the skills that manipulators use and how to really understand people's intention, whether your friends are just being true or whether they are trying to manipulate you. So for example, the first item that I would like for us to consider is are your friends or the people that you're working with being too complimentary and too flattery or too flattering? And then number 2, do they always want to tell you their problems but they don't ask about yours? And then number 3, do they make promises that they can never follow through on? And then number 4, do you feel guilty when you are not around them? So these are just things for us to consider, especially because I'm looking at this proverb from the lens of manipulation. Because when you look at this proverb, when mosquitoes work, they bite and then they sing. That sequence of events is something that if you see a mosquito singing before they bite, then something is not right there. So I just want you to consider that whenever you see that you are in a situation where the mosquito, let's say the mosquito in that situation is your friend, or the person you're working with, and they're singing before they bite, or they're singing before they work, then you know that the order of things are not right here. What do? You should start questioning whatever situation or relationship that you're in. So I just wanted you to consider that as my perspective. But as usual, with the Proverbs, and with wisdom, as always, wisdom is like fire. People take it from each other. So I'm hoping you can consider that, but also feel free to join us on the stage on Clubhouse. And let's take a moment to also learn from Chioma Sheri, who is an incredible poet, writer, and, just an amazing human being. Chioma, what do you think of this proverb here today?
Okay, Simon. So this is actually really interesting. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, I get it. And I was like, wait, no, I don't. So I had two interpretations of this proverb. So my first thought, like when I first saw it, I thought, sometimes you need to get through hard or tough things and then like joy will come. So I was like, when you're dealing with something tough, joy, pleasure, singing is also needed to like balance that. So to think of the mosquito, so the mosquito actually bites in order to like get the blood that it needs to reproduce. And then after that, it quote unquote sings, and it's that singing that will tell like the male mosquitoes that it's kind of like, okay, mating time. So the mosquitoes bite to help themselves, but then they sing to like, I guess, to let the other mosquitoes like know, like, I'm ready. But the interesting thing that I also learned when I research is that what we think is mosquitoes singing is actually not mosquitoes singing. It's actually their wings like flapping super fast and like creating a sound. So that to me was interesting, this idea that we can think a mosquito is singing, but it's really doing something else. So this idea of like, so when you talked about sort of like deception and confusion and stuff like that, that also popped up to me as a second interpretation. So my second interpretation was that this proverb is a reminder to be watchful, to be aware, to not be distracted, and to know that everything that sings isn't necessarily good. And that some people get joy from doing hurtful things, or that they may not be thinking is hurtful. So those were my two interpretations. So they're kind of different, but there's ways you can connect them in a way. So
Yeah, they're different, but they're the same. And I feel like I need more time with this proverb. This is one of those that it looks so familiar, but it looks very new as well. Yeah, yeah,
looking forward to sharing the poetry I wrote on the two. So
yeah. I can't wait. I just want to welcome our audience members here on Clubhouse, Safi, Forest, Team, Yawu, Nicole, Roger, Richmo. Feel free to join us on the stage. And also, if you'd like to join us on YouTube, the link at the top of the room is your direct ticket, your free ticket to our live stream. And M. Jewel, thank you so much for being with us on YouTube. You're very, very much appreciated. And Cheryl, thank you so much for joining us on YouTube as well, and everybody else who is with us on YouTube. Share your comment. Let us know what comes to your mind when you read this proverb from Mali. It says, when mosquitoes work, they bite, and then they sing. We just had Chioma's interpretation. I shared my interpretation earlier. But now we want to continue on with our conversation here. Just we progress as we head towards the end of the hour. This is a 1 hour conversation, Monday to Friday, the daily African proverbs. And I just want you to know that in April, this Friday is going to be the last show I'm doing until May 3rd or 2nd, the first week of May. But now I want us to take this a little further. Chioma, when you look at this proverb, does it bring any childhood memories to you?
So I guess, yeah, in two different ways, because I look at it with two interpretations. So um so when so with the more, I guess, like the negative, the deceptive, be watchful interpretation, honestly, I think about America, lol. But
I
I
did too.
also thought about, right, a lot of singing we do, right? um but I also thought about like high school. So if we're going to like childhood, I thought about high school, and my high school was very much a lot of singing, a lot of like painting over what like the truth is. Like, it looked cute, it looked like a great place, but in reality, like, at least for me, as a especially as like a young black girl then, right, it was just so it did a lot to my spirit, to like my ability to learn. Like, I felt like every day was like fighting, and like they were just like little things. But like from the outside, it looks very good, looks very pleasing. But at the end of the day, recently they closed, so I'm like, hey, it finally reaches you, it finally gets to you. You can't wear that sort of like mask all the time. It's gonna finally get to you one day. So like that's what I thought of in that regards. And then in terms of the other interpretation, as like, so my other interpretation was that like sometimes you like need to bite, but also you need to sing as well. And so I kind of thought of like a childhood, oftentimes when you have to like, your parents tell you to do this thing, you got to do this, you got to do that. So it's like this idea of like you having to do certain things that you might not like to do, or that may be hard, or that may not feel good, but you're doing it for something better. Like the thing afterwards is like, you'll get that reward. So it was very much like that. Like whenever we wanted to go outside to play or stuff, like my mother was like, nope, you have to clean this, you have to do this, you have to do that. So those are the two things I think of in childhood in terms of my interpretations of the proverb.
Yeah, I love that. The sequence of events, as you're saying, what your mother used to ask you, that before you do this, you have to do this, and that. I do that. I'm so guilty of doing that with my kids, and sometimes they get so disappointed. I wish I could just let them run around and do everything that they want, but I can't, yeah. Anyhow, thank you again, Chioma, for being so amazing. And thank you to all our guests, our viewers and our listeners. And also thank you to those who are going to watch and listen to this later on. I would love for you to take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're on Clubhouse, you can do that by clicking the link at the top of the room. If you're on YouTube, and you haven't subscribed yet, please do that, and I would really appreciate that. Now, continuing on with our conversation today, first I want to let our audience members, especially on Clubhouse, to know that in about 15 minutes we would love to start hearing your voices. We would love to hear what your thoughts are about this proverb. But for now, we are going to continue on with Chioma. Chioma does something amazing here every Wednesday, where she takes this proverb and turns it into a poem. So we want to go into that segment where, we listen to the poem that Chioma prepared for us, and then we'll continue on with with another part of the conversation. Chioma, do you feel ready?
I do. I do.
You're always ready, huh?
Yeah. This one was very, very interesting. So I'm gonna actually share the one that I wrote second, but it's actually for my first interpretation. So I'll share that one first, and then I'll share the other one. Also, just shout out to all of my people that are just coming through here. I see my sister Nicole. I see brother. I see Sherelle. I just I don't know, so many people, and I'm just really grateful for all of you who like continuously show up and that just also show up for me. So thank you. Okay, so the first poem. All right, so this is actually technically two haikus in one poem. All right. Dinner and dessert. Joy hits different after hurt. We bite, then we sing. Dinner or dessert. Choose just one and it won't work. We bite, then we sing. All right, so that was the first one. And now the second one is kind of, well, not kind of, is actually very much inspired by the recent happenings in Nigeria, the recent attacks in Nigeria, and just also just thinking about a lot that is just going on across the world and like in Africa. Okay. Smiling, showing your whole full teeth. No traces of what you had for dinner last night. No remnants left of the skin you bit into. You sing and we dance to your tune. It's as if we missed last night. I think we missed last night. It's not until later that the swelling appears. It's too late, we don't know from whom. It's too late, we don't care. It's too constant, we give up hope. Now we're itching, we're scratching, we're bleeding, and you still smiling, showing your whole full teeth. We the people you had for dinner last night, for breakfast this morning, for lunch this afternoon. We the people still hungry. We the people you're still sinking your fangs into, biting and then singing. And we the people still dancing, dancing to your tune. When mosquitoes work, they bite and then they sing. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Chioma. I love both. I loved the first set of poems, especially because of how short and precise they were, And then I loved the second one because of how it also reflects what's going on currently, especially in the motherland. So I really appreciate that. And if you're in the audience, I would love for you to also prepare to share your comments on these amazing, poems that Chioma has shared with us. Hopefully, Chioma, you can pick one to share with us towards the end. Is that okay with you?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And I do see some amazing comments over there on YouTube where Ravon says yes, and and she also says, honey, Chioma,
I love you, Ravon.
And then Abella says, wow, so good. And, Ravon says deep, so good. And the imagery was beautifully destructive. That's what Abella B says. So amazing comments there. Thank you for the support. We are here for the daily African proverbs. We get together here Monday to Friday. We pick an African proverb and we gather lessons that we can learn by the end of an hour together. And so today is one of my favorites because we get not just one poem but multiple. Today I think we are going to get like 4 or maybe 3 poems because this next question is a conversation that has been going on over the last week, a little less than a week, since the incident where Will Smith was very, very unpleased by the joke that was shared by Chris Rock during the Oscars. And I didn't watch the Oscars live. And I paid attention to all these, people's responses to the incident without watching the video until yesterday. So yesterday, the video came in my timeline on YouTube, and it was, I think it was an Australian or Canadian YouTube channel, but legitimate news channel that shared the video, and I was like, let me finally watch this and just comprehend it for myself without listening to people's opinions about it. And I feel that this proverb applies to that situation too, because this proverb speaks about a sequence of events. And I don't want to talk a lot about my opinion because it's the turn of my guest to talk about her opinion, but I could weigh in a moment. When mosquitoes work, they bite and then they sing. I feel that Will walked majestically on the stage. It was like he was so comfortable walking on that stage. And Chris saw it. I don't know if he thought that Will was going to whisper something on his ears, but what transpired after that was different. And then the way that Chris responded was also in a very respectful way. So it's just a lot for even this episode. But I am going to mute myself for you, Chioma, to also just share your perspective on this, share your reflections on this incident, and then we will continue on. If you have a poem about it, that's also welcome.
Oh, I do have a poem about it, funny. Because when I saw it, I was like, oh.
You have a poem about everything. I hope you have no poem about me.
Well, it's just because it's just, it includes this and just a lot of other things. But I was just like, I'm tired. I am tired of even talking about it. But I will share my poem that I wrote, and this is like I'll share the first rendition of it. All right. So this is me expressing my opinion through my poetry. All right. Everybody got a think piece. Everybody got a word. Everybody got a message. Everybody just want to be heard. Weeding through a lot. There goes precious time. Too much data, too much info. I'm about to lose my mind. Can't keep up with all the trends, all the threads, all the notifications, all the pings. So tired of us talking at each other and not changing one dang thing. Grateful for the virtual space and all the avenues it's open, but the feed is all too much sometimes. Some days I feel we choking, parading around like we well when we all just close to broken. Click, 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 scroll, 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 and that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you are just joining us, thank you for being here with us. And, Chioma was just sharing with us a poem in response to the recent incident where, Chris Rock was slapped by Will Smith. And, apologies have been shared by both of them. And, the impact that it has is undoable. It will not be undone for a while. And, we'll wrap this part of this conversation right there. And we will come to our audience members now. I want to listen to you, Stella and Brother, and anybody else who wants to join us on stage before we come back to you, Chioma. So that we can just hear other voices during our conversation today. We are discussing an amazing proverb from Mali. And it says, when mosquitoes work, they bite, and then they sing. Stella, we talked about you a little bit before this room began, and I just want to appreciate you for all the amazing work you are doing to make this happen. Share with us where you're joining us from, and also your perspectives on the proverb itself.
Thank you, Simon. This is Stella. Hello.
Hey, keep going. I hear you very
Oh,
well.
okay. I'm joining from Kenya, and thank you for the appreciation. I was just carried away by the poems, and I was giving them a deep thought. Um, yes, thank you, Chioma, for the beautiful poem. On today's
Thank
proverb,
you. Oh, I
when
was just saying thank
mosquitoes
you so
work,
much.
they bite and then they sting. Over here, there are a lot of mosquitoes, and every night they sting, and then then they bite, then they sing again, then they bite, then they sing again. So it's something we go through every day, like literally. Yeah, but when I looked at it, I was like, this is like someone who is trying to manipulate you. Like someone would tell you that for me to give you this, you have to go through this, and before you realize, you have worked so hard, and at the end of the day, they might not even give you what you wanted. So sometimes it's really important to be alert and know that whatever you're doing, you should know where it's leading you. You don't just do it blindly because someone has put a price on it. And at the end of the day, you don't even end up getting the prize. And they were just trying to manipulate you to get something out of your effort. So that's how I looked at it. And if you if you compare to the mosquitoes that bite us over here every day, that's what they do. They just come and they like sing for you, and it's like it soothes you, and then before you know it, they've beaten you. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Stella. That was beautiful. It's good to listen to your thought process. At least for me, because we work very closely together. I just appreciate that, and it's also similar to another Luo proverb. Both Stella and I, and maybe a few people in the room, are from the Luo tribe, Luo. And there's another proverb about mice or rats that says
Yes.
"Oyeyo kai tokudi," right?
Yes. So
Yeah,
you chami to food.
"Oyeyo chami tokudi." Yeah. So this one, when a lot of people not a lot of people, me, when I was growing up, we used to eat ugali. A lot of the food there, we don't use cutleries. You wash your hands and eat, and then go, and then wash it after you've eaten. You eat by hands mostly. But we didn't have enough water, so a lot of the time you only had water to wash your hands before you eat. After you eat, a lot of the time, if you're not early to wash your hands, you may not even have clean water. There was no reason to wash your hands, so people would just do that and then go to bed. But then that's when the mice or the rat comes and they blow very cool air on your fingers, and then they bite. So the next day, those fingers that you didn't wash, you find little bites on them, and you wonder who did it. But it was just a little mice or a rat that was also enjoying your fingers that you didn't wash properly, but they're blowing on it. So you sleep, you don't even realize that they're right there, enjoying your the skin off of your fingers. Anyhow, so that's something else that is very, very similar to this proverb. Thank you again, Stella, and thank you to everyone who is just joining us: Robin, Eric, Dunked, and Sharon, and everybody in the room who has been with us from the beginning. Team, thank you so much, and Nicole, of course, and Lavender. We deeply appreciate you. By the way, today at 11:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Lavender and an amazing group of travel enthusiasts from across Africa are hosting the Travel in Africa room here on Clubhouse in the One Vibe Africa Club. So if you've always wanted to travel to Africa and you don't know where to start, that's a good place to be. Today's topic is going to be around making it easier to travel between black nations. How can travel between Jamaica and Kenya be made easier? How can travel between Nigeria and Haiti be made easier? This is a very present conversation, and a lot of governments in Africa are actually doing a lot of initiatives to make this happen. So don't miss that conversation. Thank you, Lavender, for being here. Feel free to come on stage if you want to talk more about that. Brother, how are you? Where are you joining us from? And what are your perspectives on today's proverb from Mali? When mosquitoes work, they bite, and then they sing.
Peace and love, family. It's Brother Earth. I'm calling from the North Carolina consulate, and I'm having a beautiful day today, even though it's a little cloudy. I hope all is well with the family. And when I see this proverb, I'm coming at it from a little different angle than what everybody else brought forward. And it's when mosquitoes work, they bite and then they sing. And in the Moorish Holy Quran, it's a chapter called "The Holy Instructions from the Prophet on the Pinnacle of Wisdom." And the opening ayat says, "As the eye of the morning is to the lark, as the shade of the evening is to the owl, as the honey is to the bee, as the carcass is to the vulture, even such is life unto the heart of men." And putting those two together, what I see or what do I hear is, everyone and everything has its place in the grand scheme of things. And regardless, if it sometimes it could seem bad, like an obstacle or a hurdle, or somebody backstabs you, it's still an opportunity for you to gain knowledge and grow from. And but just the same as it was saying, even the vulture finds pleasure in the carcass. So everybody and everything has a place that it gets joy, or it gets some type of enjoyment from. You might not necessarily agree with it, or think it's good, but yet and still it has its place in the grand scheme of things. And with that, I come in love and I leave in pieces, Brother Earth.
Thank you so much, Brother Earth. I'm just so grateful for your contribution as well. Chioma is taking notes here, so if you are with us here on Clubhouse, just know that we will be reflecting on some of your words of wisdom in just a moment. I truly thank you all for being here with us. If you'd like to see my face and see Chioma's face before we run away, join us on YouTube. The link is at the top of the Clubhouse room. Doing this consistently is not easy, is no joke. So the best way that you can support us and to also help protect and preserve these amazing African proverbs is, number one, by just going on YouTube and subscribing to my channel. And then number two, engaging with this content, commenting on the YouTube channel. Even after the live stream today, we have multiple other conversations on the YouTube channel that you can engage with. And then finally, check out my Instagram, at Okelo Javan, where I post these proverbs every single day, Monday to Friday. And you can support by engaging with the content there. Those are the three ways you can support. But I also want you to consider checking out Chioma's Instagram profile. She has some beautiful, beautiful poems there. And also, she has summaries of these poems that she shares with us in this room that are inspired by these proverbs. And, also engage on her platform. I would really, really appreciate that. And now I want to go to Kay Benjamin, who is an amazing contributor to this space. Kay, how are you? Where are you joining us from? And what does this proverb from Mali bring to your mind and your heart today?
Hi, Simon, and greetings, everyone. Um, I'm still grappling with it, um, but I really appreciated the insight, especially of the second uh, poem that Chioma gave. It was very good. Basically, there I guess you want to try to avoid, but there are times that your joy, your something that's good for you can be harmful or hurtful to others. Um, but the reason why I came on, I had a thought about um, the incident at the Oscars that I hadn't heard too many people speak of. Um, and I wanted to share, well, I'm an actor. When I first started acting, or close to the beginning, well, actually, my mother says I've acted all my life, but officially, I remember asking a casting director, once you get into a character, how do you get out? And I was told that's the actor's responsibility. Um, I had an incident where I was in a play. I had rehearsed for 6 weeks, and then the performance was for 6 weeks. And in the play, my son was in prison. Um, 2 weeks after the play was over, I was up again, still crying about my son, what he had done, the reason he was in prison, and the whole situation. Finally, I got up, I looked myself in the mirror, and I said, "Kay, not only do you not have a son in prison, you don't have a son. Pull yourself together." I think that's what happened with Will. He just finished the play where, I mean, the film where he was so involved, mm, um, in a man who was about protecting his daughters. And sometimes, and it was a much heavier part than he had played in the past. Of course, he's, been acting for a while, but this was a different experience for him. And I don't know that he quite realized that how much you take on of your characters and how there is a process. Sometimes I keep some of the things of my characters to grow, but I also have a ritual in which I let them go. And I just wanted to submit that was a very real possibility on what happened that night. Uh, Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kay. I agree that there's so many possibilities. That incident is like an African proverb. You look at it from many different angles, and you can. That's one angle. The other angle that I offered in a private chat with I'm part of a black men's group here in Seattle, and looking at both Chris and Will, they are very well accomplished actors, but they're also well paid individuals that somebody could have cut them a check and said, "Look, you have to pull this off at the Oscars, this is how much you're getting for being slapped, and this is how much you're getting for slapping." And we want to create a conversation. We want to distract people from the increasing cost of food. We want to distract people from the post coronavirus issues. We want to distract people from the Ukrainian conflict. That's a possibility too, but so many possibilities. But what I know is that being in their shoes, being in the shoes of their families, is a completely different thing. We can talk as much as we want, we can come up with ideas as much as we want, but what they're going through, is only them that know. Only the person that is being bitten by this mosquito knows how much it feels when they're bitten. I do want to give a chance to Lavender and Eric, who just joined us on stage. Lavender, what are your perspectives on this proverb? Where are you joining us from? And feel free to talk about the travel event that we have later today. Thank you so much.
Hello, Simon. Thank you so much. This is Lavender. So the proverb today resonates with me literally. The weather in Nairobi, I'm based in Kenya, Nairobi. So the weather is encouraging mosquitoes to be around where I am. So I'm literally feeling the singing and biting. So the proverb today resonates with me in a matter of how persistent mosquitoes are. And if you want to achieve your goals, you'd use the same diligence as mosquitoes by working as you bite and sing. So away from today's proverb, I'd like to invite everyone in the room today for our travel conversation, travel in Africa conversation today. So that will be around 9:15 Kenyan time, East African time, and 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're all welcome to join us as we talk about travel and Africa. Thank you, and I'm done speaking for now.
Thank you so much, Lavender. I appreciate you very much. And now, Eric, how are you doing? Where are you joining us from? And what is your perspective on this proverb from Mali? When mosquitoes work, they bite, and then they sing. Okay, Eric seems to be a little far away from his microphone at the moment. So we are going to continue on with the conversation. Eric, whenever you're available, please just tap your mic and I'll be able to see it and invite you to share your perspectives. For now, we want to come back to the incredible Chioma Sheri. Chioma, we covered so much ground today, and really over the last few months, I can't even remember when we started doing these Wednesday sessions anymore. Can you unmute yourself too? Yeah, there you are. Now I can hear you. But I know we've done this for over 4 months. It's probably close to 5 months now,
I don't know. We just been going, Simon.
Yeah. So thank you again for, just being a great collaborator, holding me accountable. Chioma can hold you accountable. You have no idea. Yeah, so you've definitely made me better in regards to, just the timing of like how I do this, and Stella too. So it's just great to have, people like you in doing this work. Now, you are taking some notes as our speakers were sharing today. Can you speak to what stood out for you? And then, towards the end, I would love for you to close us out with the last poem. One of the I think it was the second poem that you shared in interpreting this proverb, but also remember to share how we can support you and how we can support your work.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, so I'm just gonna just run through some of the notes that I took from what you all were saying and you all shared. So Stella mentioned it's important to be alert and don't do things blindly, to not do things blindly. Brother said everyone and everything has its place in the grand scheme of things. Kay said there are times that your joy can be harmful and hurtful to others. Lavender said if you want to achieve your goals, you'll use the same diligence of mosquitoes. And you also just kind of I love the questions that you opened up with, Simon. The one that really kind of stood out to me. You said, are your friends being too flattery? And then you also said, do they always want to tell you their problems, but not know yours? So these are just some of the things that stood out to me. I love that there is just range in our interpretations, and that I felt like the interpretations hit on both of my two interpretations. Um, so with that, Simon, I could go into the poem if you like. I could say how you can support me, whichever one.
Share with us how we can support you first before you give us the poem,
Okay.
so that.
I know.
Last week I forgot to bring up the giveaway, and I just remembered that we didn't even prepare for it. So, do you think we should do the giveaway today, or should we do it? Should we hold off until May? I'm fine with either way, but I completely forgot last week. I didn't prepare for it today as well. But I
mean,
want to get your thoughts.
we could do a giveaway now as well. Whichever you want.
I would love for us to do a giveaway of let's do a giveaway of 2 books. I'll sponsor one. So I'll let you come up with the question.
Oh, you gonna make me go? Wow, Simon. Wow, no, you have to do. You got one question. I got one question. How about that, Simon?
Okay. Yes. Sounds good.
All right. Okay, so I guess we'll go into one right now. All right, so for the first question, for those of you who've been here before, you kind of know how we do this. So in order to win the giveaway, you either have to DM Simon directly. So that's either via his IG or via this app, Clubhouse, or you can jot it on YouTube if you are there. All right, so the first question, and this is the first who answers this. All right, the first who answers this. What? Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I answer this right, or say this right. Okay, so what thing that you can eat? So what thing that you can eat was the topic of our last Wednesday's proverb? What thing that you can eat was the topic of our last Wednesday's proverb. So whoever is the first to get that wins.
Yeah, I can't even get that, but I know Fred will get it. Maybe we should disqualify Fred from this
Last Wednesday. Yeah, Fred. No, Fred. Don't say nothing, Fred.
Let's see. So we'll give you guys maybe a minute to figure it out, and then MJL got it.
What kind of cane?
But MJL, you got a book already. I haven't even shipped it to you yet. So I wonder.
Okay, you said cane, but what kind of cane? What? All right. So
Okay.
while we're giving time to whoever got that, let's see. Did anyone say it in the chat? Okay, and Jewel's still going.
Yeah, she got it. She has 2 books. She has 2 books. So MJ will just let me know. Just private message me your address whenever you're ready, and you let me know
Yeah,
if you want me to ship 2 or 1 book to you.
yeah, maybe you can gift it to somebody as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and MJL attends all these sessions, so I'm not surprised that she gets these answers so quickly. So thank you again, MJL. It's really amazing. And Sharon is here too. Sharon says something in the chat there. Now let's go to the second question. The second question is not related to the daily African proverbs, but it's the title of the room that Lavender is hosting at 11:15 a.m. today. Now, if you can remember that title, just type it in the chats here on Clubhouse, or send me a DM on Instagram, or comment on YouTube, and then we will ship you the book. We will ship you the book. Currently, I can only ship you the book within the US because it's too expensive to ship it outside of the US. MJ, there are a couple of things. There are two words missing in your answer. There's one word missing right in. Well, I won't tell you. I'll keep quiet. I'm giving it away. So while we wait, Chioma, will you share with everyone how they can support your work?
Yeah, so you can, just like Simon mentioned earlier, you can support my work by just following me on IG at chioma.cherie. You can share my work. Also, I am interested in hopefully publishing a book sooner than later. So if you want to connect, if you have any resources, any knowledge on how to do that, that would be so supportive. If you know of any writing groups or other writers I can connect with, or that I should, check out, please feel free to share. I feel like that's just a way of supporting me. Also, just sharing other people's work, sharing Simon's book, sharing other Black artists, Black writers' work. I think that is just a great way you can support me and just a community.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. The name of the weekly sessions. If you go to the One Vibe Africa Club, you will find the topic. I think team is so close, but I just gave you even where you can find it. The room is already scheduled there. You can find the exact topic and share it with us here, and then you'll get the book. But I want to mention something here real quick. Before we wrap up, Choma, you're going to share with us the poem, but man, too many things happening in this little head of mine, so I can't remember exactly what I wanted to say. So maybe we go to the poem. This is the idea I had for you, Chioma. Since we do this every Wednesday, imagine you had a GoFundMe just for your book project. GoFundMe allows you to raise funds for a long period of time, so then you can just raise funds for your book slowly without pressure, and just send people there. Think about it.
Yes. See, that's why I appreciate Simon, because he talks about how, I'm supporting him and how I've helped him, but he's really helped me in a lot of ways. And even just inviting me to do this session, I'm just really grateful. So thank you, Simon, for all that you do.
Of course. Yeah, because I feel that people love what you do, and if you just give people a link where they can give, you'll be surprised. The biggest challenge for me with writing my book and publishing it was actually the financial side of things, If you have that, and if you're working on that over a long period of time, all the people that donate are going to be people that are going to support the project. They are going to have some form of ownership on it, and they are going to be a part of the evolution of it, so that as we continue talking about it every Wednesday, they become a part of creating the book. And who knows how many people will give. But I think it's just a great consideration for you to think about. I want to welcome Jay, who just joined us, and Anne Lutomia, and Ejlal, and Laron, my brother Johnny, and Sarah. Thank you all for being here. We are at the tail end of our conversation, and somebody just won a book. M. Jewel, this is the second book she's winning here. And there's one more book for somebody to win. Oh, Tim got it. I can't deny you this, my friend. Tim got the right answer. Promoting tourism in Black nations. Lavender, can you just say if that's the right topic for the room at 11:15 a.m.? I just want to confirm.
It is actually. Tim got it.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So Tim, just DM me your address and I'll be able to ship you the book in the next few days, and then MJ will do the same. And also, thank you all for being here with us. This is like sitting around the fire with family, brother. Thank you for your consistency. There are family members who never miss a meal. They never miss the fire. They're always there. So they know where the lighter is. They know where the wood is, and the splinters of the wood that you need to. So I feel that brother and MJ are like those family members who know all the corners of this little fire, this little fireplace, this little village. So Lavender, thank you again. I can't wait for your session. But now, Chioma, close it out for us.
Alrighty, y'all. So I'll be sharing the second poem that I shared today. And so the proverb again: when mosquitoes work, they bite and then they sing. Smiling, showing your whole full teeth. No traces of what you had for dinner last night. No remnants left of the skin you bit into. You sing and we dance to your tune. It's as if we missed last night. I think we missed last night. It's not until later that the swelling appears. It's too late, we don't know from whom. It's too late, we don't care. It's too constant, we give up hope. Now we're itching, we're scratching, we're bleeding, and you still smiling, showing your whole full teeth. We the people you had for dinner last night, for breakfast this morning, for lunch this afternoon. We the people still hungry. We the people you're still sinking your fangs into, biting and then singing. And we the people still dancing, dancing to your tune. When mosquitoes work, they bite and then they sing.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. The ancestors had that one, because it's just amazing when we can create amazing pieces of art from these proverbs. That's what makes these things live longer. So thank you, Chioma, and thank you all for being here with us today. Now, if you're interested in getting the book and you didn't have a chance to win it during this contest or this giveaway, please go to my link tree, which is on my Instagram and Twitter, and you'll be able to see the link that takes you to Amazon and other places where you can get a copy of Rooted in Love. Rooted in Love is the name of this amazing book. Now, Chioma, have a beautiful day, and to everybody else who has been here with us, thank you, and have a beautiful day. Remember to subscribe to the channel and follow the African Father in America Club. Take good care of yourself, Chioma. Bye.
African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.